I was 12 when I learned how quickly admiration can turn into disgust. Back then, I lived for the track. I won almost every local race. I went to my country's championship and finished 11th. Running wasn't just a hobby, it was the one place I felt powerful. My coach was 34, strict but normal, or at least that's what I thought. Everything changed the day they put me in a 200-meter race against an 18-year-old girl. I was 12. She was an adult. I stood at the starting line, shaking. Not because I was afraid of losing, but because it felt unfair. I ran my heart out and finished second. Second. Normally that would have meant something. But when they lined us up for the photos, I saw my coach's face. Disgust, shame. She refused to stand next to me. My dad stepped in and took the photo instead. I heard him ask her why she wouldn't stand with her own student. She said nothing. That was the beginning. The jokes started first. Little sarcastic comments in front of everyone. Then she began telling my mother I wasn't training properly, that I was lazy, that I wasn't serious. None of it was true. I did everything she asked. After summer break, it got worse. She made me the target of every training session. If someone dropped the baton, it was my fault. If someone messed up a drill, she looked at me. During one competition, I felt sick after eating pasta before a race. I tried to explain, but she cut me off. Said it wasn't her problem. There was no nurse. My parents weren't there. I had to ask strangers for help. From that day on, she stopped caring whether I was okay. When I came back after being sick for 2 weeks, and after a relative died, she made me run sprint after sprint, far beyond what a sprinter should do after a break. I could barely breathe, but she demanded competition-level times. When I slowed down, she looked at me like I was useless. 3 times a week for 9 months, I walked into a place where I knew I would be humiliated. She forgot my birthday when she celebrated everyone else's. She mocked me for visiting my grandmother. At competitions, sharing a room with her felt like being trapped with someone who hated me. I started having nightmares about running. My chest tightened every time I stepped on the track. The breaking point came the day my dog was sick and might have died. I showed up to training already barely holding myself together. By the end of practice, she was screaming at me because I didn't understand an exercise. I started crying. She yelled louder, told me to shut up or go cry in the bathroom and be back in 5 minutes. So I did. I cried in a locked stall, washed my face, and came back like nothing happened. That night, I finally told my mom everything. She said, "You're probably to blame. The coach must have had a reason." I think something inside me broke when I heard that. I wasn't just being humiliated anymore, I was alone in it. Only my father believed me. Because of him, I quit. When I returned my spikes months later, she smirked and asked where my fancy outfit was. I was just wearing a skirt and blouse. That was the last time I saw her as my coach. I tried training with someone else, but my health started failing. Tachycardia, vascular problems. My pulse and blood pressure would spike on their own. Eventually, I gave up the sport completely. Then I found out she'd been telling people I was mentally unstable. "That's why I quit," she said. People believed her. Girls I used to know looked at me differently. Later, I learned other kids were suffering too. One girl tore ligaments in her leg during training. The coach didn't even give her first aid. Parents knew she was out of control. Some said she drank. Some saw her rage. Nothing happened. She was young. She made mistakes. She would understand when she had her own children. 9 months of humiliation was a mistake. Leaving injured kids without help was a mistake. Breaking a 12-year-old's confidence was a mistake. I used to believe that if someone did wrong, something would balance it out. Now I'm not so sure. What hurt the most wasn't just her cruelty. It was the silence of the adults who saw it and did nothing. I lost the sport I loved. I lost my confidence. I lost trust in people who were supposed to protect me. If there's anything I learned, it's this. When a child says something is wrong, listen, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it challenges authority, because sometimes the person meant to guide you is the one quietly breaking you.